have on the couch with me today one of my favorite people ever, Brandon Aki, courtship consultant. Brandon, you've been so busy. Before we get into tips for the holidays, tell everybody what you've been up to. And do you have something coming up? I can never keep track of you.
Yeah, just traveling a lot. And actually, I was just in Seattle and New York. So a little bit earlier, the ladies were talking about the biggest population in one city.
Right?
Yeah, so I was just out there. That was awesome. I enjoy New York every time I'm out there. So
that is wonderful. People are looking for love all over the country, and Brandon Aki's here to help. Don't you love that? Oh. So Brandon, we know dating, it can be tough at the best of times, but especially around the holidays.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of pressure around the holidays as well.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think you're going to answer some questions for us. Like, what if you're in a new relationship and all of a sudden, like, you're dating? So one of the tips, like your first tip is stand out in social scenes. What do you mean by that?
Well, when it comes to the holidays, you're going to find a lot of people that are more open and more caring, right?
Yeah.
So the worst time to ever just fade into the background, you know, the person that wears all black and sits in the corner of a badly lit room, right? You're not going to notice that person, especially during the holidays, right? So what you want to do is you want to be warm and inviting. You want to be able to stand out. That's your perfect time where you don't have to feel self-conscious at all. You just say, hey, like, happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. Would you like some gravy?
Yeah, that is a great piece of advice, because you're right, because everybody, you know, everybody's all dressed up. Everybody's, don't be a wallflower, right?
Yeah, and you're not going to get the typical, like, talk to somebody else, you know?
Right, because everybody's so warm and so happy and so loving. Great piece of advice, Brandon. I like that.
Yeah. So everything's set up perfectly for you during the holidays.
Yes.
Yeah.
To be outgoing.
Absolutely.
I love it. And your next tip is make sure every moment counts.
Yeah, and that's very, very particular, because in every setting that you have, you want to be able to maximize that, right? And also too, you want to keep things simple, very simple.
Yeah.
You know, enjoy your different surroundings that you have. You know, at one moment you're going to have a holiday party where you're with a bunch of coworkers, and then on another side you might have a class reunion, or you might have a holiday party from your graduating class in high school, whatever it may be. Maximize that opportunity. Pull that person to the side whenever you have a chance to talk a little bit, and just say, hey, so how have you been? That kind of thing. The other piece is that you get a chance to see people from all over the world.
Very true.
Yeah, and when you come home for the holidays, that's when everyone gets a chance to catch up with you.
That's
so
right.
now you get a chance to just kind of share the experiences that you've had and things like that. So that's why you have to make the most of it.
But Brandon, should you be looking for love in a different city?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. No, I mean, because and we talked about this one time before, but technology is so great that you're able to reach out to anyone at any time. You know. I've got friends of mine who are in different countries right now, and they'll FaceTime me like, hey, dude, what's up?
That's true, right? The internet makes the world a whole lot smaller. That's very true.
Absolutely.
And this one's so sweet, but I want to know what you mean. Heighten the romance.
Well, the way you heighten the romance is when you go home for the holidays, well, then you get a chance to take people back to where you were back in the day, right? Because, the holidays are usually all about family. Right. So what you'll have is, especially if you're far away from home, you'll go home either Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's or something along those lines. Well, all you do is just say, hey, like, why don't we go check out, the overlook, or let's go check out the lake that I used to go to when I was in high school, or that kind of thing. And what you do is you just simply give people a glimpse into what created you, the environment that created you. Talk about those times. It's a chance to go back down memory lane and have a chance to say, hey, like,
get a bit nostalgic, right?
Yeah, get nostalgic. Yeah,
I love that. I love that. And this next one is keep the conversation going past the holidays.
Yes, and that's exactly what we were talking about before is, find a simplistic way to stay in touch, right? And you want to find that other person's their happy place, right? Yeah. So for me, I hate email. I just despise it.
Yeah.
Right? So if somebody wants to reach out to me for email and it's a romantic situation, it's probably not going to work because I'm probably not reading it, that kind of thing. But if it's a simple text message, right? If it's a quick FaceTime call, some people literally just need to see you.
Yeah.
you know? And it's just, hey, just want to say hi. Now Apple's got the new voice recordings and things like that.
Yeah.
Just all kinds of ways to stay connected now. Find that particular way.
Wow, that is wonderful, wonderful, wonderful advice. Simple tips for the holidays, Brandon. I love it. I love it. And now that we have you on the couch, we have had so many questions for you. Okay. So can you stay with me for Ask Sherry Lee?
Absolutely.
That is wonderful. But while I have you here,
all right.
I had a situation a couple weeks ago on a date. And I've been teasing the audience with it for a while, but now that I have the expert here, I've got to ask your opinion.
Uh-oh, it's getting hot.
So, are you ready, Brandon? And again, only in LA. So, Brandon, I went out on a date.
Okay.
Totally nothing. Like there was, it's great conversation, no chemistry. And at the end of the date, he looked at me and he said, "Please don't get offended when I ask you this, but can I try on your shoes?" So my first thing was, Brandon, I'm like, I am so insulted because he thinks we wear the same size shoe.
Wow.
But only in LA, Brandon. So should I go barefoot next time? And they weren't the stripper heels.
They weren't the stripper heels. Gotcha.
Brandon Aki is speechless.
No. I mean, that's a situation where, you've obviously found someone with the same common interest. And I know I was being funny there, but my mom, and she just actually moved into town. And when I was, a lot of people ask like, how did I get into the field that I'm in, working with women?
Right.
And they said, how am I so patient?
Yeah.
And what I realized is that like it wasn't just a result of me, coming out of the womb. It was like literally nurturing.
Yeah.
And my mom would take me and she'd say, "Hey, you're not going to be like all these other men out here like in the mall. Like come shopping because one day your wife is going to want you to go shopping with her.
Yeah.
She's going to ask you, hey, honey, how do I look in this?"
Right.
So the similar kind of concept goes there. He had something where he has a common interest there. So it just really depends on whether or not that's your type of guy.
My love. He didn't say to me, "I like your shoes." He said, "Can I try on your shoes?" And we will leave it right there because there ain't no good answer for that one.
Always have to, in dating, you always have to have the glass half full. Always have to have it half full, right? So there's one thing that I would always tell anyone, right? I would always say, look, you lost out on more information there, right? By scurrying away, which I have a feeling that you scurried away, right? You lost out on more information. Maybe he was joking, but you don't know for sure because you didn't take that shoe off and say, all right, go ahead and try this on. I dare you. Right? Because then you would have found out, hey, did he like give a good like crossover walk and then like do a pose? Or was he just like, I was just kidding, baby? So you missed out on an opportunity there.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. I really thought for sure my crew was hiding somewhere and they were going to go, "Gotcha, Sherry Lee," but no.
But was it a great date? Was it a great date before then? Okay.
I thought he was really boring.
Yeah.
And that's why I was not expecting it. I'm like, wow. And like I said, I was so insulted he thought that we wore the same size shoe.
Go curvy. Your curvy body's going on top. Looking good with your fashion style. Life is short, it ain't no guarantee.